Hey, what's going on, America? This is your man, Mike Doc Rannigan, and we are with a great co-worker, Michael McClaren, and we want to touch on a couple of cool questions that not only we're asking, but some of our homeowners and clients are asking us as well. Mike has been with Doc's Roofing now going on about a year, but his background has a ton of information about the insurance industry. And so, Mike, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and kind of where you came from before you ended up here?
Great. Thank you, Doc. Of course, Mike McClaren, but more than anything, where I started out from, I've been in engineering and all kinds of trades, project management throughout my career. But something always interested me, and that was insurance. And from that side of it, I went ahead and got my property and casualty license. I'm actually a licensed property and casualty agent. Not currently practicing, but knowledge is power, and that's the way I've always dealt with on things. Knowledge is power. And that's where I'm gonna try and help answer some questions for you, the consumer, on getting that knowledge, because at the end of the day, that's how you best represent yourself and allow us to best represent you.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. We're just going to jump right into it. I know most people don't hang out on videos very long, so we're going to get right to it. So, as a homeowner, for whatever reason, my insurance premiums keep going up without anybody asking me if they can go up. Why? What's the deal?
That's a great question. I mean, here in Rockwall County and North Texas, the premiums themselves went up roughly around 40% this year. And that's due to the storms, but it's also due to the increase in cost to repair, cost to build, and you'll see that reflected on your tax bill and how that continues to go up. So not only that, from that side, it's going to continue to go up regardless on your premiums, whether you file or you don't file, because it's accounting for everyone. So please keep that in mind, that if you think that by not filing that your premium's not going to go up, that's not the case.
Okay, so if I don't have any control of my premiums going up, is there any way I can keep my premiums down?
No, that's an even better question. A lot of things, one of the big things that a lot of people don't realize is if you've worked hard to get a great credit score over your life, you need to make sure that you request your agent to request the underwriter to score you for your good credit score. There is a discount there. Most of them will not even inform you about that. And it can be a big discount because you're a lower risk. You take care of your home, and you also make sure that, nothing's gonna happen. One of the other things that you can do is upgrade your class of shingle. One of the big things here lately is going to a class 3 or a class 4 type shingle. That can bring great gains as far as a reduction on your premiums. And then lastly on that portion of it is, if you have a great roof, you can look at going to a higher deductible. But you need to know the risks on that, because it is going to be a larger expense and when that inevitable time does come.
Well, outstanding, Mike. We appreciate that. And
are there any other things that we could do possibly?
I guarantee it there is. So a lot of times I've found dealing with insurance claims over the last 10 years is we try to hold homeowners responsible for neglect of their property. I.e., maybe you got some trees hanging over your roof, maybe you have some silicone that needs re-silicone, maybe you have some exposed nail heads, maybe some 1 or 2 shingles are missing. So it would behoove you to find a contractor that offers some sort of a maintenance program that you can utilize once or twice a year, where we come out there, inspect the entire property, and make sure that you are no longer being neglectful on your home. What we'll do is in turn write you up a clean bill of health, send it over to your insurance, let your insurance know, hey, we're doing everything we need to. Can you help us keep our premiums down? I would assume it's something like attending a safe driving course to reduce your auto insurance, right? Or a drug and alcohol awareness class to be able to reduce your auto insurance. So the same principle applies if you're having somebody come out there and do a once-over assessment on your property.
That's actually great, because that actually leads into being able to prove your condition of your home at any given time.
Yeah, and you make so when do I file a storm damage claim? Or what should I do?
Well,
what should I tell my insurance when I call them and make this claim?
It's not a big mystery, but there are some things that you really need to be aware of when you do actually file that storm damage claim. Probably the first and foremost is to make sure that you request the carrier to provide an in-house adjuster. And what that does is that actually you're being inspected by your actual carrier and not a third-party adjuster, which brings them into this process more efficiently. One of the other things that you can do is have a qualified roofer actually come out and inspect it. Somebody that's there that's going to catch that and be there when the adjuster is there. That is probably one of the most imperative things that you can do.
Yeah, and knowing the storm date is also important when filing those claims. But like Mike said, I've been on a lot of adjuster meetings, and a representative from that insurer didn't even send a representative. And it was somebody from like Ladder Now or Seek Now or Ladder Assist or a third party. Not to say that any of those people or companies, good or bad or indifferent, it's just why isn't a representative from the insurance company there to make sure that a third party is doing their job? So make sure that somebody from your insurance company is there. So great point. Oftentimes we run through this process with a lot of insurance companies where they deny or they pay for partial repair. But the roofer is saying, hey, it's unserviceable. Like now I'm caught between a rock and a hard place. One, my neighbor got his roof replaced and they're telling me my roof is fine. I don't understand. Why are these insurance alls different?
Well, we kind of touched on it earlier, and that is actually having the carrier provide an in-house adjuster. And that in and of itself is one of the best steps that you can do, because you've paid for this carrier to support and represent you in good faith, and they should be the ones that actually come out there. But if that claim is denied or it's not paid in full, the premise behind the insurance is that they are to make you whole to before the storm damage occurred. And that's where we can advocate on your behalf on that. We can request a second adjuster meeting. There's a lot of things that we can do to work the process within the confines that they're required to do. And please take a look at Texas Department of Insurance. There's a TDI Title V, Section 542, and that is going to cover the claims processes. So those are the procedures that the insurance company has to adhere to. That is really good information. I know it's dry reading, but hey, being an educated consumer is the best approach. Now, one other thing that we can look at doing is, as we move down that process, there may be opportunity where we're going to have to use an appraisal process. With that appraisal process, that's where another adjuster comes in on your side, on your behalf, and one for the insurance side. Well, please understand that there's added cost to that because you're going to have to pay for arbitration and such. But at the end of the day, we're trying to make sure that the insurance company is negotiating and on your good faith or on good faith on your behalf.
Yeah, those are key words: good, acting in good faith and restoring the property back to its original condition prior to the date of loss. Those are really powerful statements when talking to your insurance and filing a claim.
One other little note on that I'd like to share is that when we're talking about certain keywords, time is of the essence. And with time is of the essence for them to process your claim and also to assist you in mitigating any further damage.
That's right.
You're going to do your part, but then they have to help do their part to make sure that you don't get additional damage.
Yeah, and speaking from a homeowner and an insurance payer, we pay them, not the other way around. So in essence, collectively, we are in control. And so I think that we have allowed too much release of control to these big conglomerate insurance companies. And I think it's kind of time to regain control of who insures us, right? So consumer knowledge is huge. Understanding what the Texas Department of Insurance says, hey, these insurance companies are bound by. And so knowing that information and obviously having a trustworthy contractor that has a wealth of information that understands the laws, the policy, the codes. They'll all work out in your best interest.
Absolutely.
So,
nothing like empowering the actual consumer.
Well, Mike, I appreciate you taking some time out,
Absolutely.
going over this with us and the consumers. If you guys have any questions, feel free to get a hold of Mike, 214-336-8554, or you can email him at mclardocsrr@gmail.com, and that'll be running at the bottom of the screen. Sound good?
Thank you.